Hello again. We are back to Saburly code quality talks, and we'll start without much. Okay, so Saburly core values, if you forgot or if you haven't seen this, have never seen this, these are the Saburly core values. We just want to remind you. Okay. We are coming straight to the code, no intros now. So we are continuing our talk about code quality, and this presentation is about how to order statements inside a routine or function. That's a function or method or stored procedure, whatever. So basically, the smallest code organization is the Steve McConnell called it routine. So basically, we are talking about how to design them, and specifically how to order the statements inside the routines. So if you have straight line code with the if statements, this is a mistake. If statement depend on order, so you have to make clear the dependency between those statements. If it's not clear, it may have there may have been readability issues. So you have to use naming. If it's not clear, then you should use parameters or return values to indicate that the calls are dependent, the statements are dependent, and they have to be run on the same order, in the particular order. And you should use comments as a last resort to do this. If you really cannot, for some reason, change the names of the methods that you are calling, or then you should use comments. But when you are creating a routine, if you have statements that order is not irrelevant, as I said, this is a mistake in the title. You have to indicate it so that the person who reads the code knows that he or she cannot change the order of the statements, because that will affect the result. So this is an example of a simple routine that has 4 calls to the statements where it's not yet clear that these calls are dependent. But basically, if, before filtering block posts, you have to get the posts, then expand links inside those posts. Imagine if we are making, for example, a Facebook page. Like the timeline. You have to get the posts. You have to, because you get all the posts, you should maybe filter the posts from the persons you blocked so that they don't show up. Then you need to expand links. If there's a link in the post, the Facebook adds like a preview of a page or a video or picture right below the post. So that would be the method. And then draw the timeline, basically use all these information to actually render the timeline in browser. So if I were to filter blog posts before getting blog posts, I would get an error. Same thing with the expand links. Maybe not, but drawing timeline has to also happen at the end. But it's not clear from the names that this is the case. So this is how to use return values and parameters to make the dependency clear. Result of get posts, if you could change these methods, of course. The result of get posts, you put them in a variable, then you call next one with that variable, and you can see what's happening here. So when someone sees this, it's clear that these statements have to be in order, because you cannot get filtered posts if you don't have posts. You cannot have expanded posts if you don't have filtered posts, and of course, you have to draw expanded posts. So it's clear. It's a simple trick that you can use to do it. So when the order is irrelevant, still there are some rules to follow in order to make readability clear. The top to bottom order is most readable. So basically, when you go from the top of the method and read everything that's happening towards the end without any jumping around, that's the best way to organize a method. So one important thing is also to put the related statements together. They can be related because they operate on the same data, or they can be grouped by some other criteria, but you have to keep the criteria consistent. Here's the example here's a bad example of badly put data that in which order is irrelevant. So basically, there's marketing data, sales data, and travel data. Then you declare it. Then you compute quarterly report, compute annually report, and then you print stuff. So if you were to see what's, for example, you have a bug in marketing data, then as you are reading this method, this routine, you have to track marketing data throughout the whole method. So you can see that the first mention of marketing data is at the beginning, and the last one is at the end of the methods. But you have to scan. It's not easy to. You have to scan in the middle if there's marketing data. So you have to read the whole code just to see what's happening with marketing data. There's a diagram you can use to see if code is grouped together, and you can see that on this in this diagram these boxes overlap. That's indication that you didn't group statements together very well. If there's these overlapped boxes, of course you draw boxes with the mentioned criteria in the beginning, so it has to be consistent. The good thing to do would be to group marketing data at the beginning, sales data. So basically, right now, if I have a bug with marketing data, something is wrong, I just read the first part of the routine, and everything is clear here. What's happening with marketing data, and I don't even have to read the rest of the routine because I written like this. All the mentions of marketing data are right up there. Since it's visually grouped, I can easily skip first part and go to the sales data, easily skip first and second and go to travel data. So, and you can see the diagram of this example of a diagram here. They are not related to the code, but when there's no overlapping of the boxes, it means that the statements are grouped correctly. Okay, so now I wanted to review with you this piece of open source code. I thought this would be a good practice to have at the end of these, so we can practice everything we talked about, even from the others. So since Mirna was skipped last time, now I want Mirna to review this piece of code with us. Okay. Hey Mirna, can you do it? She doesn't hear me. Okay. Who wants to go else? Mediha, can you review this? Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
If you can just call someone else, please.
Okay. Then Bilal is the one. Bilal, can you review this?
Okay, let's start from last video with variable names.
Okay. This is
Right.
actual code from the software Blender, you know, 3D modeling software. So
Yeah.
so it's a real life. It's not like in that. Okay, so what's with the variable names?
What is RGB? What is RR?
So they are too short, right?
Too short, not explaining anything.
Yeah, okay. That's a good thing. Also, let's see. Yeah, the names are bad. These, like, if conditions, they have comments. It would be maybe better to like use Boolean variables to group these statements and if statements, and then to make these statements more readable with variables and not with comments. Because problem with comments is, like, if you change, you have to keep them in sync with the code. So just because this is written here, like, don't waste time, it doesn't mean that the if condition, like, works truly on that. So yeah, basically that's the problem. Let me see if, like, grouping is okay. Yeah, the problem is, but sometimes the language can do that. Basically, the image is, like, declared right up here. Yeah, it's used all the way. Okay, so that's it. That's it. Basically, the names are bad. If conditions could be better. Okay, so basically that would be my comment, like, quickly. Okay, so that's it. This one is short now. So do you have any questions, answers? No? Okay. Okay, Bilal, you have question.
No, I just once said no questions.
Okay. Okay, so this one was shorter. It doesn't matter. That's, like, the important thing. We cross this topic and we'll go next Tuesday. We'll go with the next one. Okay, happy hacking.